Good morning, friends. I hope you must have seen my previous video on bank interviews. If you have any questions, you can always send an email to samba, S-A-M-B-A .s7@gmail.com. Today, I propose to discuss a few questions that are asked in bank interviews. Among them, the familiar one is, tell me about yourself. So this is a very important question for which you must be prepared to answer. For example, here you can tell about the school, the college where you have studied your degree, and the subject you have taken in your degree, and also the percentage of marks scored by you in your degree. Also, you can mention the name of the school where you studied your +2, and apart from that, then you can tell about your strengths. By strengths, when we go and ask in engineering colleges, some of the students are not able to spell properly. By strengths, we mean your ability to communicate well, your ability to mix up with other members in a group, your ability to understand certain questions, situations easily, and your flexibility, likewise, and your leadership qualities. Likewise, some of these points, don't tell these points just because I have told. You try to analyze yourself and try to get the points and keep it ready with you so that you can tell. So you must tell your strengths. Thereafter, you can also tell about the hobbies, and thereafter you can continue and tell that I am interested in joining bank if they allow time. Sometimes they may not allow you to continue and they will stop you in between itself. Then they will go for some other question. But one important point here is that you must communicate positively about yourself, and you must be able to tell them about your flexibility, leadership qualities. And there cannot be a ready-made answer for this. It is for each and every one of us to prepare. I hope you understand this. Good. Now, sometimes they ask you a question, are you a team player? The answer is not only simply you are telling yes or no. When the question is asked to you, you can say, yes, I am a team player. And if they do not stop you, you can continue with your experience of having been a team player on some occasions, say in your college, say projects and other areas. You must be able to explain how you consider yourself a team player and not a person who plays alone. For example, players who participate in cricket, football or basketball, they are good. They have to be a good team player in order to succeed. Whereas a person who plays chess or table tennis independently, they do it for themselves. They are not team players, they are individual players. Then the next question can be, why you want to join banks? Obviously, it is only for, say, your money, but you can't be telling that openly like that. What you can tell is that banks offer a scope for rendering service to people. In the case of banks, you get immediate job satisfaction if you are able to clear so many customers' payment or receipts or passbook entries, etc. You get immediate job satisfaction. Also, banks offers a scope for, say, you are getting into contact with the society. People from various walks of life come and they have their bank accounts with you. And a service in a bank is recognized and is also a prestigious one. Plus, bank service offers scope for promotion, and also bank payment is also good. Banks pay a decent salary. Do not compare with central government and all. Tell them banks do pay a decent salary. So these are the points you can tell about why do you want to join the banks. And there is another question that is asked, is about what is liquidity? Liquidity means the banks having more funds in their hands and they are willing to give loans and advances to people. If the banks are flushed with more deposits and they are not having sufficient demand for loans, then that is a situation where the liquidity is more. So this situation is monitored by the regulator of banks, is Reserve Bank of India. The Reserve Bank of India monitors this, and accordingly they try to increase or decrease the CRR, cash reserve ratio, and SLR, statutory liquidity ratio. So depending on that, if the CRR is increased, the effect of that is that more money has to be kept with the Reserve Bank of India. When more money has to be kept with the Reserve Bank of India by banks, the funds available in their hands come down. Then the liquidity will come down. The reverse situation is where CRR or SLR is reduced, banks will be flush with funds, and that funds they can use for lending to customers, and that will improve their liquidity. The another question can be, who is the regulator of banks? As all of us know, it is a Reserve Bank of India. Another question can be, what are the functions of Reserve Bank of India? You should not write as an essay, but simply tell them as in an interview, the functions of Reserve Bank of India is number one, the bankers' bank. They are the bankers to the banks. All the banks have their accounts with the Reserve Bank of India. They are bankers to government, say central government as well as the state governments. Then Reserve Bank of India also performs the function of, say, monetary regulations. As I told you earlier, they take care of the say liquidity factors like increasing or decreasing CRR or SLR. Reserve Bank of India is also vested with the responsibility of inspection of commercial banks. Reserve Bank of India is also the foreign exchange controller as far as our country is concerned. So these are some of the functions of RBI. Sometimes in the interview they ask you a question, do you have a bank account? I am sure all the candidates must be having a bank account. Then when they ask, you must tell with which bank do you have an account. Obviously it may be a savings bank account. You can tell them that you have a savings bank account. Then what is the interest paid in savings bank account? 4%. So, and also once you tell about the name of the bank, they will ask you some details about the name that particular bank. I suggest you go through the balance sheet of that bank, try to know the various details like say interest rates on deposits, interest rates on advances, and certain other factors that are given in the website of the bank. Please go through that and get to know about it. You must be able to speak about it briefly. Obviously, as all of you may be aware, the questions are invariably based on the answers given by you. So whenever you give an answer, you must give it in such a way that when a question is framed from that one, it should not be an embarrassing one for you. So always try to project your positive side. Tell or discuss about areas where you are comfortable. Whenever a question is asked, as I already told you in the previous video, where you do not know, you can always say, I don't know. For example, for a commerce student, if he is going to be asked, what is Boyle's law? 100% they may not ask such a question. In case perchance it is asked, then he need not try to recollect what he has studied long back, but still can be very free and tell them, sorry sir, I don't know, I don't remember, or I don't know. You can tell like that. Then the next question is on, say, what is a financial inclusion? A financial inclusion is one whereby the banks are trying to open the, see that everybody has got a bank account. Recently, the Prime Minister also has introduced a scheme whereby all the people are encouraged to open the bank account. The idea is the future transactions for payment for various services rendered by them has to be done through the banks, so that the cuttings etc. made while the money, the salary is disbursed in cash is reduced. In fact, you must be aware about the gas subsidy scheme, whereby the bank accounts are linked to their other account, or the bank, and the subsidy for the gas is supposed to be paid through the bank accounts. That is only in the stage of being formed. So these are some of the points I thought I can share with you today. And then one more point is on, say, about the GDP and GNP. That is, what is GDP and what is GNP? GDP is gross domestic product and GNP is gross national product. I have just today posted say differences between GDP and GNP in my blog www.yesbank.in. Repeat, www.yesb, B for Bombay, N for Nagpur, K for King, .in. If you go there, you will see this differences between gross domestic product and gross national product. And telling briefly from the angle of say a layman, the gross domestic product is total value of products and services produced within the territorial boundary of a country, not only by citizens but also by others who are working here. And the another one is gross national product is total value of goods and services produced by all nationals of a country, that is all Indian nationals of say within India and outside India also. Repeat, the GNP is total value of goods and services produced by all nationals of a country, within bracket, whether within or outside the country. And there are some more points regarding this. Country with the highest per capita income under the GDP is Qatar. It has got a figure of say $1,02,943, and under GNP the country which has got highest per capita is Luxembourg, $45,360. The country with the lowest per capita under GDP, it is Liberia, $16. And again under GNP, country with the lowest per capita is Mozambique, it is $80. And the country with the highest under say this GDP and GNP is United States of America as on date. So thank you friends, I thought I should share some of the points with you today. I hope you would have understood, and regarding other questions, let me share in my next video. Thank you. Today's date is say 7th December 2014, Saturday. Thank you.